Parents told our correspondent that female hostels are the usual target, with the latest breaking happening around 5 a.m. on Monday. He says he's had to replace his daughter's stolen phone twice this year.
It looks like there's an upsurge again in insecurity within the school environment, especially the hostels. Early this year, my daughter's hostel was raided and she lost phone. And then around April, it happened again. It's not only that hotel, because showing that other hotels have also been touched by some of these hoodlums. Her own particularly had become too rampant because she came home last week because she said she needed to cool up a little bit, so she came back. And then she left on Monday morning, which was this. And then 8 hours, 5 a.m. this morning, she called with her voice, shaking. So what is it? That the things again, kids and their boys, they are young men, they are very hostile again, more than 5 of them, and people lost their valuables.
The parent further said the trauma students are facing goes beyond lost property.
She wanted to leave off campus, and I said no, for security reasons I want to leave within the school environment because that was more secure. But unfortunately, it worries her now that how these guys will continually get into the school environment and then continually rob these girls, and then not one person has been caught. That is my concern. And if the school authority will rise up with the occasion, because these guys come and walk away like that, I think they have security. Why can't anybody see that? I've been to that place a couple of times. I saw that they have lights all around. How can somebody just walk into that place and do these things and then just bolt just like that, disappear? And is this the male student or is he outsiders?
The aggrieved father says hostel staff and security are aware but keep repeating that investigations are ongoing. He is now urging RSU management to beef up security and take student safety seriously.
The hostel manager, she's aware and they say they are doing investigation. One will wonder how many investigations would they do because this is not the first. What happened last night, early morning. And also the security person in charge of security, because I know several have visited that place. There is a security post and there is a gate before you pass. So the security man is also aware of the incident and they say they are doing investigation.
When contacted, the university management promised to respond to this. As you may know, similar attacks hit hostels C, D, and the NDDC hostel in 2023. Some students even alleged rape, while others lost gadgets and valuables. The attack sparked campus protests, and at the time, the now suspended governor, Siminalayi Fubara, had to step in with a visit. Meanwhile, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has backed the introduction of compulsory and random drug integrity tests for students in tertiary institutions across the country. It followed a meeting in Abuja with the chairman and chief executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Buba Marwa, where both parties discussed measures to curb substance abuse among students. Dr. Alausa also approved plans to review secondary school curricula to include stronger drug education and prevention content. The NDLEA is pushing a 3-part plan: tougher drug education in schools, standalone anti-drug programs in secondary schools, and testing policies for both new and returning students in higher institutions. An interministerial working group will also be set up to drive the agenda. Moving on now, the Because of Our Tomorrow Boot Party has announced its withdrawal from the August 30th, 2025 Rivers State local government elections. This is contained in a statement signed by its Rivers State chairman, Abednego Benjamin. The party, in the statement, cited 3 reasons they chose not to participate in the forthcoming election. It said a 34-day notice period violates the 90-day minimum mandated by the Supreme Court under Section 150, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2022. It also cited a court case they filed at the Federal High Court challenging the legality of the sole administrator regime in the state. The statement further stated that participating would legitimize a system under judicial review. Boot Party reaffirmed its commitment to the rule of law and said it cannot, in good conscience, take part in an election it deems unconstitutional. Now, on Thursday, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RISIEC, said it will conduct the August 30th local government election using the updated register of voters obtained by the 6th Commission in March this year. The commissioner in charge of political parties affairs, monitoring and security, Professor Godfrey Nwoke, said this in an interview with correspondent Obiorware. He said the commission will ensure the council election is not exposed to any legal challenges.
We are going to use the voter register we have because if it pass the next 1 month or 2 months, it means that we are not going to use it again because INEC have said to do another review of voter register. But we are still working with the former voter register we have. But if it pass more than 2 months now, when the new voter register is going on, it means that we have to wait until the new voter register is being concluded. And I assure you that as long as this present research is concerned, we are bound to do the best. And we are going to give a very good election that people will now say, they didn't know it's going to happen. They have responsibility now. It's the duty of the parties now to say, okay, we are ready, we are not ready.
Professor Nwoke also outlined steps being taken by the Commission to monitor political parties' primaries scheduled for this Saturday.
Primary is coming up on tomorrow. The Commission will meet with their staffs, the electoral officers, which are electoral officers and AGAs. In fact, we're meeting with them tomorrow. So I will now mark out the strategies so that we need to know where the primary will hold. The Commission is doing a lot of things to see that primary is fully monitored, devoid of anything. So we also tell them that because of the time factor we are watching now, because we need to make sure that any attempt to derail from these particular factors, it means that the election will have problems. The Commission is doing work with the chairman or everybody putting to see that things move according to the timetable.
Recall that the retired Justice Adolphus Enebeli, who led the 6th Commission, said in March that the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, released the updated registered voters of Rivers State and the list of current political parties to the Commission. In a statement, the 6th Commission said the 2 important documents were released to RISIEC through a letter with reference numbers INEC/RB/S/VR/494/155. In the meantime, the spokesperson of the Emeka Bekele-led APC in the state, Darlington Nwuju, said any attempt by the current commission to rely on the registered voters will be a gross violation of the judgment of the Supreme Court.
And that judgment was abundantly clear. That judgment cited the fact that there was an infraction of Section 38 of the Electoral Act. If that is so, it means that the vision or review or update of the voters register must take place before any electoral exercise can be said to have legally taken place in Rivers State. That no revision of voters register has taken place in Rivers State.
But a Lagos-based lawyer, Libros Oshoma, says the RISIEC has not violated any provisions in the electoral laws if it relies on the registered voters obtained by the Justice Enebeli-led commission to conduct the August 30th council elections.
If you remember, the Rivers State, the then Rivers State electoral body and INEC were working at cross purpose. Now you have an electoral body that is not working at cross purpose with INEC. INEC has updated their register as at the conduct of the last election. The thing is, it is for INEC to state whether they have updated or they have not updated, because INEC has what you call continuous voters registration at the local government level. So INEC can come out tomorrow and tell you that they have an updated register because people have been registered who clocked 18.
Still to come, sister station Kids FM launches in Port Harcourt, Abuja today. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. A lawyer and former chairman of Okrika local government area, Tamuno Williams, has called for peace ahead of the August 30th local government election in Rivers State. In an interview with correspondent Mekotoka, Williams urged political parties and individuals who may feel dissatisfied with the process or outcome of the election to seek redress through the court, rather than taking actions that could threaten the peace of the state.
Election timetable is out. For me, as a citizen of Rivers State, I will not work against the law. I will also advise others to work against the law, knowing that the law provides for adjudication. And the law is ibi remedium. Whether it's a right, and that right has been wrong, rather, there must be a remedy. So the summary is that for peace to reign in Rivers State, and for Rivers State to move forward, and to be free from the quagmire we find ourselves, every party must make some sacrifice. So what I will advise, let everybody follow the law. Let there be no self-help. Because at the end of the day, it's what the law says, what the court says, becomes the reality, and not what you wish.
And the coordinator of the Rivers Peace Initiative, Obinna Egbogidi, says that the situation between supporters of the two political leaders in Rivers State is still fragile. Mr. Egbogidi said this while reacting to the insinuation that the supporters of the suspended governor, Fubara, and the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, may not have fully embraced the reconciliation. He called on the leaders to ensure that their supporters embrace the terms of the reconciliation.
What we have now is more like a fragile truce, but we have made progress. The guns may have gone silent, but governance is still in limbo. You go around town, you see that even the ring road project appears to have been suspended. The governor remains in a constrained position, and the social indicators like the resurgence of court-related violence, worsening sanitation in Port Harcourt, and stifled economic activity show that we are not out of the woods yet. So yes, Rivers State is calm, but calm is not the same as peace.
Also, a public affairs analyst, Ijoma Obi, said the body language of the supporters of the two political leaders show that the reconciliation is not inclusive.
But there's an aspect of the peace that the both factions are not really taking seriously. You will see the obvious indifference, separation between the factions. Despite FCT minister and the governor meeting and resolving, the supporters have not absorbed that peace. It is essential for the governor and the FCT minister to come back to the state and move from the local government to the local government. Talk to their supporters. If they don't do that, the peace is not completely achieved.
Another public affairs analyst, Obinwa Kanwa, also spoke on this.
There was no theater of war. It was just a cosmetic war that was put and it metamorphosed into an imaginary war. What I've seen so far, the warring parties have decided to lay down their personal interest. I know that the suspended governor is at the receiving end. He has nothing to do other than speaking because President Bola Tinubu had not placed within the independent arbiter in that matter. The governor, by that suspension order, became incapacitated. So at this point, whatever he comes his way, he has nothing to ask for.
Away from that, as the Federal University of Environment and Technology in Koroma, Thai local government area, set to admit its first cohort of students in September, an environmental rights campaigner, Celestine Abubari, says the establishment of the university may finally draw long overdue attention to the region's environmental challenges. It comes nearly 6 months after President Bola Tinubu signed into law the bill establishing the institution, originally passed by the National Assembly in March 2022. Abubari tells correspondent Martha Okere that if such an institution had existed earlier, the scale of damage witnessed today might have been avoided.
You want to destroy a man, you destroy the environment. My long-term expectation would be that the university will cause our people to give attention to the environment. Our research from the institution will help our people to live in a better, finer environment. Who knows whether the university has been around all this while. Maybe the pollution in the Niger Delta may not have happened, or may not, or even if it happened, we will not have taken on the volume that we have. So at least 90% of the people will be environmentally conscious.
Abubari also cautioned against any attempts to alter the original vision behind the creation of the university. He said the Ogonese will monitor the university to ensure that its curriculum is not politicized. On Wednesday, President Bola Tinubu appointed a former Commissioner for Education in Rivers State, Professor Chinedu Mmom, as Vice Chancellor of the university. In a statement signed by the President's media aide, Bayo Onanoga, the President also appointed a former Vice Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt, of the University of Port, Professor Dom Baridam, as the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council at Federal University of Environment and Technology, Koroma. Elsewhere, some residents of NTA Road in Ozwaba, Port Harcourt, have voiced their concerns over the delay of the government to solve the flooding problem in the area. Speaking with our correspondent, the residents said the flood caused by recent rainfall affected their daily activities, especially their businesses. They appealed for quick government intervention.
This water is suit me for my market because anytime water falls, it is rolling me one way for my shop. roads were blocked. Most persons, they can't even pass. Even the vehicles, they find it difficult to go through the road. Even to cross roads, it's only God that protected. If not, there would have been accidents.
I said the forward has a big well. For now, it's not too small. Why? For everybody. Yes.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has called on state governors to prioritize the welfare of Nigerians by investing more in rural electrification, agricultural mechanization, poverty eradication, and infrastructure. Tinubu's call followed a presentation on the Renewed Hope Ward Development Program by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, in Abuja. Now, striking nurses say they will not resume work until key demands are met. Union leader Morakinyo Olajide Rilwan made this clear on Thursday after a meeting with the Labour Minister Muhammadu Dingyadi failed to end the strike. He said the government must act first before any suspension is considered. A medical specialist, Dr. Manir Bature, is calling on stakeholders to review progress in the fight against hepatitis and liver diseases. Dr. Bature, in an interview, warned that hepatitis often develops silently, urging early vaccination, especially at birth, as a key preventive measure. He also appealed for increased government funding and the inclusion of hepatitis education in universal health coverage programs. World Hepatitis Day is observed on July 28 every year. This year's theme is Let's Break It Down. In other news, Nigeria's first radio station for kids and families, Kids FM 101.7, is officially launching in Abuja and Port Harcourt today, over a year after making its debut in Lagos. The station, owned by the creators of Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, and Ariwa Radio, is designed to be a fun, educational, and entertaining space for children and their families. The CEO of the 5 stations, Serge Nujaim, describes Kids FM as a platform where the joy of learning meets the fun of entertainment, with a mission to inspire kids and empower families. The energetic lineup of on-air personalities include Ija Isumbuaji, popularly known as Super ISO, Monachi Ebolono, also known as Mona, the Playtime Professor, Casimir Okoromado, fondly called Mr. Echo, and Constance Iruelemega, known as Connie, the Air Lady. Live broadcast kicks off today at 8, and ISO speaks to our correspondent on this.
We're very excited to have Kids FM here in Port Harcourt City. It's your family fun radio. We have kids at the heart, at the very center of it, and everyone in the life of the child is also very important to us at Kids FM. We are kicking off live broadcast with all our fantastic OAPs from 8 a.m. today, Friday, the 1st of August. Watch out for a whole lot of wholesome content. We have beautiful music to play for you, inspiring stuff, and just everything that will bring the family out and give the family a whole lot of joy. So tune in to Kids FM 101.7.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump has raised Canada's tariff rate from 25% to 35%, which just came into effect. Hours before a deadline to strike trade deals, the White House released new levies for dozens of other countries, which will come into effect on 7th of August.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, you heard Rivers State University students are worried over attacks on female hostels. Education Minister has backed drug test for university students. Boot Party has pulled out of the August 30 Rivers Council election. Our sister station Kids FM is officially launching in Port Harcourt and Abuja today. On the foreign scene, the U.S. President Donald Trump has raised tariffs on Canada. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.